Rock the house, y'all.
For everything business. Get tools to help you become a successful entrepreneur. This is Business Hub.
Up here on Smooth 98.1. And today on Business Hub, we're definitely going to be talking about Dangote Refinery and the cuts in fuel price. It is now 840 naira per liter. And my guest is going to be giving us insight in how all this petroleum pricing and all that is. Jeremiah Olatide, he's the CEO Pertroleum Price.NG. And it is, well, glad to have you with me this evening. Trust your day has been good.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here again. The last time I came on board, I had great fun. Why engaging you on issues related to Dangote Refinery?
Right. And now again, we are here. Okay. And this time around, still about Dangote and in the interest of Nigerians, how it is going to pan out. As always, Lagos, you can share your thoughts. What 981, that is the number you want to share your thoughts on. All right, let's get into this. Let's just dive in. So I know that Dangote is now reducing the depot pump price of fuel to 840 naira per liter. What is the difference between the ex-depot price and the final price that we pay at the pump? What is there any difference? Are they the same thing?
Yeah, thank you once again for having me. And for the ex-depot price, it means the wholesale price. And for the pump price, it means the retail price of petroleum products. I'm going to break it down. Ex-depot price is the landing cost of petroleum products, either from the refinery, our local refinery here, down to the storage facility, or refineries abroad, down to the storage facility. So the landing cost makes up the ex-depot price, including the profit margin by the depot owner. So let's say the landing cost of petrol, as we speak, is 980, 970, 980 thereabouts. So the profit margin will be relatively between 10 to 15 naira, added to 980, that makes it 990. So yes. So you now have, I'm just citing, just give an example. That's like 990 for the landing cost. So between the depot down to the filling station, there are other costs that are associated with the particular product. And the first cost is the loading cost. At the depot, products are being taken through trucks to the stations. And you have several costs at the depot. It's called the loading cost. And when you move out there, the next cost is the truck cost, the logistic cost of transporting it from the depot down to the retail outlet. And as soon as you get to the station and the product is being discharged into the underground tank, the last cost is the profit margin being added by the retail outlet owner. So as soon as they had that cost, it makes up the pump price. And you know it is a regulated market. Pump prices are determined by whichever person that owns the product. When it was regulated and subsidized, that is when the federal government would say, oh, this is the price you are supposed to sell because we are subsidizing it. But in a case like this, where the industry is deregulated, the PIA bill has unbundled the industry and it's completely deregulated. So everybody sells what they buy. It is regulated. That's why you see prices today. Dangote is fixing 880. Tomorrow is dropping it down to 840. It means that oil prices will determine depot prices and our local prices here. But if it was regulated means subsidized. It means that the government is paying a portion from its coffer, most likely 50-60% from its coffer, to the importers or the refiners. That, oh, what is the cost of producing a liter? If the cost of producing a liter is 800. Okay, we are going to subsidize 50% of it or 70% of it. So as we subsidize, we have that autonomy, that power over pricing, because we are adding up 70-60% of it. They will now say, oh, prices must not go beyond 300 or 200. That is where government comes in to determine price. But in a place like this, everyone determines their prices because there is no subsidy. Subsidy has been gone. The president said subsidy is gone. So anything you buy, you sell. So there is no law. As I speak with you, there is no law that controls price in the petroleum industry. Even the NMDPRA, the agency in charge of the downstream sector, they don't have the constituted power to regulate price.
Right.
Yeah. So what they do?
Okay. Now let's even talk about Dangote. Okay.
Yeah. You want to say something?
Yeah. I'd like you to finish your thoughts.
Yes. So
no, finish your train of thoughts.
Yes,
I do have something.
Yes. So the NMDPRA, they are not backed by law to control price. What they basically do now is to give license, give refineries license, depot owners license, and retail outlets license, and they regulate their activities to make sure that they are giving the right quality to the masses. The refineries are producing the right quality because we have so many low standard petroleum products all around the world. So the ask is to make sure that products are being tested upon refining. If you are importing, products are being tested upon importation. And as soon as it goes down, because even if you import a particular set of products, they are also adulterated products. You can still mix it up. There are places in Lagos where after importing, they will still mix those products up. So that's the function of the NMDPRA, not for pricing.
Okay. Fair enough. Now we know what it is. But here's the thing I wanted to ask. Is Dangote Refinery only competing now with NNPCL?
Yeah. Well,
that L sometimes confuses, but
yeah, I know that L. That L simply means limited.
Just makes it.
Yes. So well, currently
it's just a mouthful sometimes, but
yeah. So currently, what we have in the downstream sector is the Dangote versus the importers. Those are the two major blocks as I speak with you at the moment. Yes. We have the Dangote versus the importers. The NNPCL are not really doing well in the downstream. Downstream means refining, storage, and retailing. NNPCL at the moment are more active at the upstream because as I speak with you, NNPCL, they are not refining. They don't have any functional refinery. Secondly, most of their petroleum depot, their storage facility are not functional. And most of their retail outlets, they definitely have so many retail outlets, but most of them are being franchised. They are not owned by them. You have individuals franchise those stations from them. So you have the major players here is between Dangote Refinery and the importers. So the importers are grouping and regrouping against Dangote. Why Dangote, on the other hand, is saying, no, I am a refiner. You guys import. I am the refinery. I am the refiner. Yeah, I refine. And I have a capacity of 650,000 liters. I control the market. I control the stake. So that is just the market war between Dangote and the importers. The importers are also known as the depot owners. Most of them owns depot. They own petroleum depot. We have over 100 depots in Nigeria listed by Pertroleum Price.NG. So it is more of Dangote and the importers or the oil marketers.
Then, all right. Thank you so much for even clarifying that as well, because most people just feel like, oh, okay, it's only NSCL that is that Dangote is in competition with.
Yeah,
that's what is always out there. But it's good to know that, hey, there are other people in this field that also are, are you favoring us or not? But what actually is the what would you say attributes to this latest cutting price? Is it low oil prices, or is this him trying to gain market share? What exactly could attribute to this latest cut?
Okay, for me as an expert, two reasons attribute to the fluctuation of prices lately, because in less than 2 weeks, prices have moved from prices have moved from 835 to 880, and in less than 2 weeks it has moved down to 840. So the first reason behind this is the oil prices, global prices. Yes, because I said earlier that the market is deregulated. Oil prices determines the depot prices, and unfortunately 80% of Dangote's crude, 80% of his crude is being sourced from the US and other countries abroad, sent in naira.
Okay.
So that means, and he buys in dollars. So prices at the international market will definitely determines his selling price here, because 80% or 70% of what makes up the cost of a petroleum product is the cost of oil, is the cost of crude oil. So crude oil has an integral part when it comes to determining price of petroleum products. So as soon as prices rise in the international market, it affects the local prices. Yeah. So what happened recently was what happened was we had a drop in price. We had a surge. I mean, the conflict between Iran and Israel surged up the crude oil price. It went from $68 per barrel to $78 per barrel. That's like over 10% increase in just a day. So it is imperative that Dangote would definitely review its price. So a few days after, he reviewed his price from 835 to 880. And few days after, we had a ceasefire by Trump. We had a ceasefire declared by Trump. And that same day, the price dropped massively back to 10% to 68. So he had to reverse that decision back to 840.
Right.
So that is just what is happening. It's basically the crude oil price.
Okay. That's all right. And well, before we wrap things up here, I want your quick take on this, because I know that first off, Dangote Refinery is planning nationwide distribution of diesel and PMS effective of August 15th.
August 15, yeah.
Obviously, it's not going to be the same price, uniform price. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it going to be the same uniform price?
Yeah, for me, I don't see a uniform price. I don't see a uniform price because I understand that the importers, they've been around for over 2 decades and they've been importing heavily. they would fight to finish to make sure that they influence that. Yes, they will fight to finish to make sure that the 4,000, because you circulating 4,000 trucks across Nigeria is like you want to take over 70% of the market share, throwing them out of business. So there's going to be an intense competition. He would want to unify the price because the logistics is free. One of strategy is that, logistics is free. And definitely the depot prices are always unified. 800, 840 is 840 across board. And if you are doing free logistics, most times it's going to be free. So he's trying to create a uniform price that, those in Boronu, instead of buying 1,000 naira in Boronu and those in Lagos buying 880 in Lagos, we can also always have a uniform price. But for me, this strategy is... Hello?
That's going to be hard.
Can you hear me? Yes. So this strategy is...
Yes, I can hear you.
This
I said that's going to be hard.
Be faced with stiff competition from the importers. And I am going to expect a lot of... Just as I speak with you.
Right.
Dangote reviewed his price to 840. As I speak with you, private depots are already selling at 840, the same price as Dangote Refinery. Like they are already competing with him. Because as of yesterday,
it's a good thing.
Yes, as at yesterday, Dangote, when Dangote has not fixed his price, private depot were selling 860 per liter. But as I speak with you today, all the depots are selling 840 with Dangote. So they are really matching head to head with him to make sure that these policies of his do not take them off the market. So for every price he fixes as a refinery, most of them are importers, they will fix that same price. But where the question is the quality of the product.
All right. We could give the conversation. We can keep this conversation going.
Yeah.
I know you have a lot of insight to share, but yes, time is never our friend.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
On such programs, sites on petroleum pricing and all that good stuff. What's the platform, your social media handle that they can reach out to you and get all that insight?
Yes.
You know what? In 30 seconds.
Yes. Pertroleum Price.NG on LinkedIn, Facebook, on X, Pertroleum Price.NG. You get information of trending news and prices across all board.
Thank you so much, Jeremiah Olatide, for sharing all those insights.
Thank you so much.
And Lagos, I'm sure that now you understand. Oh, my pleasure as well having you in. You understand where it is and how it is going to pan out. So, move a muscle. You want to stay here and smooth